Yo, what's up with you guys, man? Welcome back to another video. It's Tubelin. I hope you guys are having a great rest of your guys' day. And this video, man, I ended up cutting one of my boys. He wanted to make a video out of it. You know, he actually brought it up to me. He's like, let's do something for a video. So I ended up pulling out the camera, man, and we did a little what's it called, a tutorial on his little haircut. He got a mid fade. I tried to explain to him before what a mid drop was and a regular, like, just mid fade where it goes, you know, around. He said he wanted, you know, all just around, and I explained it to him as best as I possibly could, and then he ended up wanting it to drop a little bit. But I did drop it just because I kind of thought that's what he wanted, so I dropped it a little bit, but not as much, because obviously I wanted to try to give him what he wanted. Because he said he likes it to be, or that's what he said at first. And but at the end of the day, man, it came out dope. It was a clean fade, and he ended up really enjoying it. He just kind of got a little lost in the words. I showed him specifically because I wanted him to know what I meant. But like I said, he liked it, and it was a really good, really nice haircut. So we're gonna end up getting straight into it, man. I'm not gonna waste too much of you guys' time. Yeah, this is a mid fade, and he has pretty thick hair. He has like brown, like light brown hair, almost like reddish. But so it's not a very like they're different, man. When you start to cut hair, you start realizing the difference. But they all blend pretty much the same. You just kind of have, like, there's certain light spots and darker spots in the hair textures and stuff. Like when you cut, you're gonna realize it when you guys cut. But let's get into it, man. And without further ado, let's show you guys into the tutorial. Alright, you guys, so to start off this haircut, we're going in, I believe, with this 3 guard or a 2. I can't really, I don't remember exactly the steps because this was a few weeks ago, but I believe it's a 3, and we're just kind of coming up off the head, and we're just clearing bulk so that, when we make our guidelines, it's nice and smooth, and there's not too many not too much hair hanging over, so we can't really see. So we're just trying to make a clear canvas, being able to see all our steps efficiently. And once we clear out off the bulk and we have a clear canvas, we're gonna go in with our trimmers, and we're just gonna make this set in this bald line all around the head. And as you guys can see, I do drop a little bit toward the back, and that's because I although he wanted it rounded, I kind of felt like what he wanted was that drop, but I didn't want to make it too much of a drop, so I did end up raising it a little bit, as you guys can see. And we're pretty much just debulking it and making it real clear, so making it as tight as possible, man, because that transition is going to come out a lot cleaner the tighter it is. And me and him, we had a real cool conversation, bro. I haven't talked to him really for a while, man. We used to play soccer together on this team called Sporting SD, and so I haven't seen him since, man. That was probably a few years ago, so that was real dope to catch up with him and see how he's been and stuff. He's a real cool guy. he honestly wants to start up his own YouTube channel, man. So I try to give him some, some motivation to get where he wants to get, and I think it's pretty dope, man, to see him trying to grind as well for what it is he wants to get. And I'm not sure. I think I'm going over with this 2 guard. So I might have went with that 3 guard earlier, and this might be the 2 guard now. Either that, or I'm just going over just to double check, but I'm pretty sure that was a 3 guard before, and this is probably the 2, because I wouldn't go over with the same guard that many times. So yeah, just a little bit more debug, so then we can set in this, the lever open line, and get started on the fade. All right, and now we're going in with the lever all the way open, and we're gonna set in our guideline about 1 inch to ½ inch. I kind of set them in a little bit shorter than I would have liked. Now, if I was to do this right now, I would probably, stretch the first guideline a little bit more. But at the end of the day, you guys are gonna see the final result, and it came out nice. And so now we're starting to fade the first guideline that we made with that lever open. So we're going to close it a little bit as we go down. So I set it in with the lever open. I'm going to close it just a tad bit and go right underneath what I just worked with. And then after that, I would do it again. I would go close it a little bit even more and go a little bit even lower than what I just did. And eventually, I'm going to be all the way closed, and I'm going to be at the bottom of that guideline that I made, and it should be faded. And notice how I'm constantly adjusting my lever, and that is because when you go down, when you're fading, it doesn't always take it, like, we kind of develop our own system, and it doesn't always work on everybody. And so the more you do it on somebody, you're gonna realize, oh yeah, this isn't gonna work as well, this isn't gonna work as well, this will work as well. And you always want to adjust to your client. And when you cut them multiple times, and you start to realize what works on them, and therefore you don't have to do trial and error. But if it's your first time, you definitely want to make sure that you do a longer length and be more cautious, because you don't understand their hair yet until you kind of gauge it. And that just comes with cutting their hair more. Your first time, you want to be more careful. Once you start to get a feel for their hair, then you can go all out, and you know what to do. All right, now I slapped that 1 guard on, and we're going up the same amount that we did with that lever open, about 1 inch to ½ inch. And we're making sure we're not trying to set in a real harsh line. This is a guideline, so you can, but if you don't set it in that harsh, it's going to be easier to take out later. Therefore, when you make your guideline, once you're at the top of it, just kind of flick out and don't set it in too harsh of a line. Now we're going in with that 1 guard close, and we're flicking right underneath that 1 open, and it should be a nice smooth transition there, man. Then all we would have to do is we're just softening up that middle line that you created with that lever open, and that 0 guard close should take it out. But I would suggest go half open. Just kind of play with the person's hair if you've never cut them before, man. You definitely want to cut a longer length. I'm gonna really stress that, because that's something that you might not need to go to a 0 guard close. You might make another line, and then you have to take that one out. So I would say gauge the hair first, and then once you understand, okay, not even the 0 guard close or the 0 guard is the one that's taking it out. And I did kind of skip some of this, just because at some point I kind of got in the way. Like, I started to cut toward the front of his head, and I ended up getting in the way. So it was a cool, I would say 10, maybe 15 minutes. So I had to skip a lot of it, and that's kind of why you're gonna see it just start to come together out of nowhere. I had to skip that part out. And to tie it all together, here we're going in with that 1.5. We're tying in from the 2 to the 1 open, and yeah, it really just makes it come together, man. Makes that little, it's that perfect sweet spot, man, to just transition it. And I don't know why, bro. I absolutely love that guard. I never really had it before. I would say about like a couple months ago when I first started, I didn't have it, and I didn't realize how bad I needed it, especially because my technique at the beginning was not down like that. Good, and you guys can see that, man. That thing's starting to look blurry, man. You see it from this angle, bro. It's starting to come together. If you guys can't tell, man, I'm very detail oriented. I have like OCD when it comes to these cuts, man. I make sure, I want it to be as clean as possible before I move on. And a part of this is, maybe I need to start to stick and move, like I talked about it in the previous video, man. I spent too much time in one area. I think what I really need to do is, I'm pretty much done, and I just need to move on to the next area and just clean up the little stuff toward the end. And I really need to start getting better at doing that. Check it out, man. On the one side and the other side still needs to be done, and then we're gonna tie it all in the back. And I'm gonna speed more through this one just because you guys kind of already seen, the first other side. Alright, and same like the other side, we're just going in with this one open, creating our second guideline, and right after that we're going to go underneath that with the one guard closed. Now we're going in with this this two guard, and we're kind of just debulking just because we want to know what we're going to cut into, right? So we want to make sure everything on the side is going to be a 2. Obviously we went in with the 3 earlier and then connected it to the top, but now we're just going in with that 2, and that way so when we start to fade up or like with the one open and all that stuff, now we know where that 2 guard is, and making sure that it's the length where it needs to be. And here I'm getting my trimmers and just going over it one more time because I'm gonna go in with my shaver, and it prolongs the life of your shaver and all that good stuff when you make sure it's nice and tight. When you use your shaver against long hairs, it'll end up messing it up. Now we're getting ready to line them up. So we're getting our comb and we're brushing all the hairs down. That way it gets it in the natural position. So when we put in this nice sharp line. Alright, and so we went ahead and put some shave gel on them, and now we're putting that razor on them, man, making making sure that line is nice and crispy and getting my man right. Alright, here I am showing my client the cut, and I'm about to show you guys right now. Alright, you guys, this is the cut. Hope you guys enjoyed it, man. You know, I really put a lot of time into this one. I had to make sure my guy was looking right. Alright, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, man. The little, the tutorial. I definitely like the haircut. And honestly, I wasn't even gonna make a video out of it. I'm really glad he brought it up to me and was like, let's do this video. So, it kind of like, because at the time I already had a few like tutorials, so I was like, oh, I don't need it. And it ended up coming in clutch, because now later in a couple weeks later, I was like, hey man, you know, I could use this footage for a video. It kind of saved that work for me, so that was really dope. But I think I'm looking to getting a new tripod too, one that can kind of set up better, like up in the air. That way you guys get a better clear angle and stuff like that. There's a few things that I'm gonna get, like maybe like a ring light and a tripod, stuff like that. But right now we're making do with what we got, and I'm trying to put out the best content I possibly can. But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, it's Tubelin. I hope you guys have a great rest of your guys' day, man. Stay tuned for more and more uploads, man. And let me know in the comment section down below what you guys wanna see, or just anything in general, man. And like I said in the previous videos, I'm always open to your guys' suggestions. And yeah, man, there's some stuff I want to do, man. I haven't got to it. I'm gonna have to do some like now. But yeah, man. Hope you guys have a great rest of your guys' day, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video.